Energy Minister of Ukraine, German Galushenko, has said that the Russian strikes have targeted two regions in the central Ukraine. Ditke, which is Ukraine's largest Rivati energy company, has said that 4 of its thermal power stations have been hit in this case. Galushenko said one energy worker had been injured. The tech has also said that there were casualties but provided no other details. The commander of the Ukrainian Air Force said Russia had launched combined overnight strikes using a total of 34 cruise and ballistic missiles, of which Ukrainian air defense shot down 21. Brian Thomas is joining us for more details on this story. Brian, what is the latest statement which has come in from Ukraine and this particular company there?
Definitely, the Ukrainian energy minister, German Galshulenko, while he was communicating via the Telegram messaging app, revealed that the recent Russian airstrikes targeted multiple regions across Ukraine, and specifically also the strikes hit the Dnipropetrovsk region in the central Ukraine, as well as the western regions of Lviv and Ivano-Frankivsk, and DTAK also, which is also the Ukraine's largest private energy company, reported that 4 of its thermal power stations were among the targets of the strikes. And talking of the very statements of the DTAK, it lamented the extensive damage which was inflicted on its facilities, emphasizing the very urgent efforts by energy workers to address the aftermath of this very attack. And even Galushenko also further disclosed that one energy worker had also sustained injuries during the very strikes. And although DTEK acknowledged casualties, and there were obviously no further details that were provided. And according to the very commander of the Ukrainian Air Force, also Russia launched a combined series of airstrikes overnight, deploying a total of 34 cruise and ballistic missiles. And even talking about the Ukrainian air defense also there, it managed to intercept and down 21 of those very missiles. And the assault on Ukraine's energy sector has definitely intensified post March 22nd, with even Russian forces also targeting thermal and hydropower stations, along with other energy infrastructure also on almost daily basis. And as a result of that, also Ukraine has definitely suffered significant losses, with approximately 80% of its thermal generation, and even 35% of its hydropower capacity was very much compromised. And despite the very onset also of mild spring weather, Ukraine still continues to grapple with an electricity deficit, prompting the very government to implement scheduled blackouts in several regions and restore to emergency electricity inputs. And in the aftermath of the strikes also, Governor Serhiy Lyasyak also of the Dnipropetrovsk region reported that Ukrainian air defense successfully anticipated 13 Russian missiles. However, yes, the region's energy facilities, particularly those in the Kryvyi, sustained damages, leading to fire disruptions in water supplies. And meanwhile, even in the western regions of Lviv and Ivano-Frankivsk, also firefighters battled extensive blazes at multiple energy facilities, exacerbating the strain on Ukraine's energy system. And even addressing the very pressing need for conservation efforts also, Lviv General Maxim Koziteksy also urged residents to conserve electricity, particularly during this very evening hours, to elevate the strain on the energy system. And even in retaliatory mode also, Ukrainian drones also carried out a large-scale overnight attack targeting 2 Russian oil refineries and even military airfield. And even Ukrainian President also Volodymyr Zelensky also reiterated the urgent need for enhanced air defenses and swift weapons deliveries to bolster Ukraine's ability to defend against Russian aggression. Yes, Uday.
Group Captain UK Devnath, defense expert, also joins us now live. Group Captain Devnath, what do you make of these latest charges being leveled against the Russians?
Oh yes, Uday, in any warfare which continues for a long time, a sustained effort is always made towards targeting enemy energy resources. It goes without saying that if Russia is able to neutralize Ukraine's energy system, then it damages its war-fighting potential also. As per various estimates, as of date, 80% of thermal power plants and 35% of hydroelectricity generating plants in Ukraine have been damaged by Russian attacks. See, Uday, it aids Russia in many ways. One is because of massive power cuts all over Ukraine to the civilian population, Russia hopes that it will lead to some kind of a domestic unrest and at least an anti-feeling towards Zelensky. Similarly, when Russia knocks off their power plants and electricity grid system, it affects Ukraine's trade and commerce infrastructure. We should not forget that trade, commerce, any multinational needs electricity, and they cannot continue to generate, run their companies on installed power plants from like DG sets. A war effort is also affected to a massive extent because train movement in Ukraine is mostly dependent on electricity. Very few diesel trains are available in their Ukraine train system. So the war equipment which has to be moved from rear, that is from Poland or from western and central Ukraine to eastern theater, that is areas of Donetsk, Luhansk, Zaporozhye or Kherson, these train movements are affected because of the shortage in electricity. One more thing which affects war effort because electricity is not available is we have to remember all radar systems, all missile systems, and especially the weapon systems like cruise missile, etc. Their support system needs continuous supply of electricity. Russia hopes that by...
So you believe that these are pointed strikes, these are on the thermal power plants?
Oh, yes. These strikes on thermal power plants, they affect direct war effort of Ukraine. We should not forget that similar tactics were employed during Azerbaijan war by Armenia, where Armenia and Azerbaijan each other, when they used to launch off their drones and UAVs, they were many times targeting their each other's thermal power plant or hydroelectricity power plant. It will be a new trend in between future generations of war, to deny the enemy energy, thereby limiting his war fighting potential. Yes.
All right.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.